We are live for the weekend, Saturday Night Live, yay! What is up, everybody? CPAP, you are first. We are here in Searcy, Arkansas. Good evening, Brent. I know it's early, but I wanted to get it done and over with because later I'm going to watch Live PD. I have this great... I got this useless television back here, but I do have a tablet with my satellite TV hooked up to it. So let's see, Jason Perry, Christopher Volbrecht, am I saying that correctly? Jonathan Wheeler, how's it going? Did you guys like the fact that I left my last live feed up? I haven't been doing that lately. You should feel special. Special. So what is going on with everybody? Jonathan Houston, you were just watching the last video, Cousin It, Keith James. Did you think I quit? Did you watch that and go, oh man, Steve's an idiot for quitting like trucking. I didn't quit though. You just got finished watching my last video. Yeah, it seems like on the weekends I don't have time to watch videos because I'm at home. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube when I'm at home. Unless I get up early, like before a whole family's up and I can't sleep. So then I'll get caught up on everybody else's video. Can you reload that Transland trailer? Not on my own accord. Basically what they do is they give me an out and back. So like tomorrow I pick up in Morrilton and take it back to Stratford. It goes all the way to Wisconsin, but they're just paying me for the move to take it to Stratford. Then one of their drivers will take it. So, but yeah, I can't just like load it myself if they don't have a load for me. So any power only they offer me has got to be a round trip, and it's got to be a round trip number. So Daniel Ladavi, what's up? So Maria Lynn, TJ Boulder Woods. Just got your truck wash, Bandit. Well, then it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. I know it's raining here. Or it looks like it could rain here. If you're going to watch Live PD, I could drive up to Pasco County and cause some trouble as they're putting me in the back of the spot. I'll give you a shout out. Brent, that would be awesome. Now, they're also where I live in Greene County. And when they were just playing reruns the last 2 weekends, I thought maybe they were switching. But no, they stayed in Greene County. So just stopping by to say hello, heading to a Broadway play for my 12th wedding anniversary. I'm going to assume you say wedding, I'm sorry. Call Jay Kennelly as prior experience. Prior experience of what? Of power only moves? Weddings? Live PD? Oh, Live PD? Was he on Live PD? Oh, being arrested. Oh, okay. Alright, TJ, you enjoy your 12th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. At least your power only load wasn't in a pasture. No, it wasn't. And all the customers I've been to before. So this place in Morrilton's not bad. It is a heavy load, so I'm going out of route to not go back up 65. I already did the math and it's worth it. So but tomorrow's going to be busy. I'm going to try to pull off quite a few miles. I deliver here tomorrow at 10, and then probably won't get to Morrilton until 1, and then try to make it. So I have an open window on my delivery in Springfield with my own trailer, so we'll see how that goes. No notifications. Dude, YouTube has been kind of screwy here lately. I can always tell because normally I average about 40-50 people when I go live. And this time, there's only like, what, 19 in here now? My phone went off, you know, as a notification, but, you know, sometimes it doesn't do that and I don't get anybody in here. I got loaded early, wasn't supposed to load till tomorrow. But got loaded today and I'm home. I'm delivering Monday morning, 9 a.m., 20 minutes from where I park my truck. Cool. Steve Berger, what's up? Got my glass, Uncle Jesse. Cool. Got notifications on phone, but not on YouTube. Huh, weird. What's up, Rhymes with Orange? Berger, are you out there working? Kind of off the grid for like 90% of my trip. Then I called Harold and talked to him. His trailer's got the same disease mine does with the tire thing. You're working? Cigar class just in from Hong Kong. Cool. Oh, the cigar glass. That one that I sent you a picture of, James? Cool. Not Howard. Yeah, I accidentally called him Howard. I don't know why I do it. I was talking to Harold about that earlier. I called him up and said, dude, I don't know why I'm calling you Howard. And I did it in that vlog, too, that I did. And you know, I consider Harold a pretty good friend now, and hearing him call him by the wrong name, it's like I told him, I said, yeah, you can start calling me Jack or something like that, you know. Cool, you got that glass. Roscoe, you're gonna have to show off that glass in one of your live feeds. Nittany Lion, what's up? What does my hat say? It says Transland. Burger? I don't know if you yeah. Well, I'll post it on Instagram, but let's see here. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's not doing it. Man, that loves Wi-Fi. Kiss my butt. Anyways, Burger, I'm going to post a picture on Instagram. And you'll see what I'm doing. Sergeant Ringo, Mike Mentor, what's up? And he sings with it? What are we talking about? Sings with what? Hopping in the car to head for dinner, so I'll be listening only mode for a while. Well, Brett, where are you going for dinner? I'm gonna finish up that. I have a burger left and probably some green beans and not sure. Nina's singing with this country intro. I am completely lost there, Mr. Best. CPAP says I was born and raised on a dairy farm, heard enough country music to last a lifetime. Jeff's working, Mr. Berger. But you know him, man. He's not out there driving too hard. He's making the big short haul bucks. But he was live earlier. Was it this morning? Yeah, this morning maybe? Or was that yesterday? No, it was this morning. He was live. And I went live earlier. I don't know if you saw it, Burger. Check this out. See that? See that brown Freightliner right there? He has Schneider numbers on the side. It says Great White. I bet you that guy used to drive for Schneider. Schneider. Speaking of Schneider, next one. He's got one of them company 680s. Either taco salad minus the shell at Tijuana Flats or naked wings at Wing House, still on keto diet experiment, so choices are limited. That's cool, Brent. How's that keto thing working for you, Brent? I know you're driving, you can't comment, so you can comment later if you want. Next time Burger goes live, it will be from CPAP's closet. I don't even want to know what's going on there. Eating from Mississippi en route to Atlanta. Big Rick Bill, what's up? Did you ever upgrade your camera equipment? I know you called me on that one time. Down 27 pounds in 1.5 months. Man. See, man, the keto thing, you can't argue with it because it's got results. And you can't, I mean, you can't argue with results. I know so many people have lost weight with that. So have you ever had diced broccoli? I had it earlier with cheese, good stuff. No, but I do buy that that riced cauliflower. That's pretty good stuff. It's expensive though. Like one bag, which is one serving for me, is like $3. So I don't buy it all the time. Crane is coming. Oh yes, Burger. You bought a GoPro? Cool. That's all I got. You know, my vlogs, I use this cheap $150 GoPro. And I use Windows Movie Maker to do all the editing. I'm old school and cheap. It's still better than my last camera though. Looking to buy a truck now, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. Well, good luck with that. Buying a truck's a pain in the ass. Dude's gonna get hit by a truck. Man, you got some impatient people out here. I milk myself before I pay that. What? A half-gallon milk was $5.29 at the Pilot. What a ripoff. Burger, maybe Dan can set you up with some camel milk. It is quiet here at this Love's. The parking's kind of tight. I got Swift next to me, Bobtail, and I got Schneider on the other side of me. So I think they're here for the day, which is good. It means no one's going to park next to me. I would pay to see that, James. I don't think I'd pay to see that. I mean, there's only one way to milk a guy, and I really don't want to see that on camera. So, I think that's called pornography. Only if you want chocolate milk. Woody, I think it has something to do with camels being on an all-sand diet. That's weird. Oh, Swift and Snyder, you're safe. Yeah, I'm safe. This is a boring live feed, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not as heavy-winded as Mr. Best is. And I already went live earlier today, so that didn't help. But I had something to talk about then. I closed the trailer tail. It took me a second. I had to remember how to do it. Dan the Sandman needs to call in. I don't think I've given Dan the Sandman my other number. Everybody's parking for the night. Here's what I'm staring at here. Got that guy going really fast. EGA Trucking. Those guys are fast. There's that guy waiting for that guy. I'm not sure. And then that guy is waiting. I'm not sure what they're waiting on because that guy is just sitting there. And then Triple C Transit, he's like, screw this, I'm going around all these yahoos. That's one of them funky tank trailers that sit slanted. Trucker Rudy, what's up? Maybe Pale Rider can drive up here and hang out. I'll buy him a Hardee's cheeseburger if he wants to come by and hang out. Yeah, they're all just sitting there. I don't know what's going on. Did you notice any MPG difference pulling the trailer with aero mods and skirts versus your van? That's a very good question, Brent. Let's talk about that. Earlier in the last live feed, I told you the president of Translane, he called me up and he's like, or vice president, he was like, hey, let me know, the difference in, because he knows I don't have skirts or anything. Now, the road I went, when I parked at the last live feed, I was doing 6.2. And right now I'm at 6.7 because of the nature of the area that I ran today. So I jokingly, when I parked, sent him a picture of my 6.2 and said, yeah, they're working great. Now, when Transland first started to get the skirts and the tails, one day you would pull a trailer with them and the next day you wouldn't. It'd be the old style. And so I could tell a difference then. And there was enough of a difference company-wide that they went ahead and bought skirts because they originally were never going to buy skirts. But then they got an account in California and then they saw the fuel savings that they acquired. Now, I'm not in a hurry to get skirts for my trailer because to me there hasn't been that much of a mileage difference. I mean, there probably would be if I was running like 3,800 miles a week or something like that. But what I don't like about skirts is when you get a side wind, it blows you all over the place. It's not as bad when you don't have skirts, and I've been enjoying that. So, and the tails are just annoying. In fact, Transland's getting away from the tails. They're doing these new things that cover the hinges on the back of the trailer, these flaps. They're because a lot of drivers are damaging the tails when they park at truck stops, and they're cheaper than the tails. So you're going to be seeing less and less of those tails as time goes on because this other flap stuff is like half the price and just as effective. Now, eventually I want to get the underscoop thing underneath the trailer, but that's not a priority right now. I got 2 services due. I got service for the truck, service for the APU, and then Monday I might be buying a new tire. So depending if they can patch it or not. 0.2% difference in fuel economy. Yeah, they make a difference. And like I said, if you're a fleet with 1,000 trucks, you know, that adds up. But for a guy like me, especially running short haul, I don't think that there's that much of a difference. So, you know, it would take a while for the cost of the skirts and the tail to add up to create fuel savings. In my book, I mean, I could be wrong. There's probably someone screaming this video going, Steve, you're an idiot. Gotta get skirts for each other. But so far I've been enjoying, you know, and then not to mention some of the docks you see damage the skirts. They look like crap. I mean, I challenge you, look at any truck in the parking lot and you will see hardly any skirts that don't have any kind of scuff or damage on them because of docks and some of the potholes we face and everything else. I just don't like that. I'd rather, you know, have a little bit of fuel costs and have the trailer look a little bit better and not be blown by a side wind as easily. Yeah, I'm the same way, Bandit. Get the fold-away skirt, it would just take longer to get money back. Yeah, I've seen those. I like the ones that don't go down as far and they have the rubber, like that much rubber on the bottom of them. Those would help on the docks and stuff, but again, I've got other things that I need to purchase first. I've got one of those drive fender panels I got to replace because it's all rusted out. And, you know, like I said, I got service, and I eventually want to get a toolbox for the truck too, like where the steps go. I want to put one of those toolboxes there. There's nothing wrong with PACCAR, James. All my issues have been electrical. Every engine will have its quirks. Okay, Sergeant Ringo. Other than having to take it to a dealer, is the PACCAR engine reliable compared to the Cummins? Sergeant Ringo. Yeah, Ringo, I do have a PACCAR. Sorry, I missed your comment earlier. I've been doing pretty good with it. Knock on wood. Is it better than the Cummins? It's more fuel efficient than the Cummins I had, but if someone gave me a blank check right now to buy, and it had to be a new truck, not a glider, I would definitely look into getting the newest was it MX X15 Cummins. They simplified the regen system, and it's supposed to be their most fuel efficient engine yet. But so far so good. You know, the majority of Berger's problems have been electrical, like you said. It would also depend on your dealership. You know, if you don't like the Kenworth or Peterbilt dealership near you, then maybe getting a PACCAR is not a good idea. But PACCAR definitely has fuel efficiency. But you know, when it comes to engines, they're pretty much, I don't know, it all boils down to the service and the warranties, because they're all the same. They're all, you know, they're all built to withstand certain things, and they're built to break on other points in time. And you know, I've never had a Detroit or a Freightliner, so I've never even driven one as a company driver, so I don't know much about them. I do know that the fuel mileage in this truck was way better than the last truck, which was a Cummins, but you know, that Cummins probably needed a few things. So in the end, if you maintain the engine, the only engine that was really bad that whether you maintained it or not was that Max Force. Travis, what's up? Yeah, I am early. Can anyone tell me about how much Snyder deducts per week for insurance, and is that all for owner ops, no matter how many years you've been driving. My insurances for truck and occupational big rig bill came out to about $138 a week. Your truck insurance fluctuates with how new your truck is. So with the value of my truck being half of what the Schneider Finance guys had, I tended to have cheaper insurance. But you're going to be somewhere between $120 and $150 a week for everything. Light Bright, what's up? Kenworth uses a software program that had design issues, so when you couple that with the newly designed engine, it caused havoc. Was curious if PACCAR was prone to breakdowns, etc. Good info to know. Appreciate it. Snowler, Bernard James. I know that they're more costly to maintain. I think that's why a lot of fleets have gotten away from, like Schneider. They're not buying the 680s anymore. Yeah, I'm right next to one of theirs. But on the same token, though, the Peterbilt 579s are real popular right now, and they've got the PACCAR engines too. So, like I said, it just, they're not lemons like the Max Force. They are a little bit more costly to fix, and I can't tell you how good or bad the warranty is on them. You know, so. That's all I got. Freightliner runs great, rides like crap. Yeah, Provost, I wouldn't know. The main reason why I never bought a Freightliner is because the shop near me has a really bad rep, and I know several people that go there, and they always have bad experiences there. Whereas the Kenworth dealership near me, they've been really good to me. My dad used to take his truck in there all the time back in the day, and they're 24/7, so that helps a lot too. You know, when they saw that, you know, I was when they saw that my repair for the clutch was going to be about $4,000, they did this and deducted that, and you know, they did everything they could to get the price down. So, and you know, they went out of their way to take care of me. Berger says if you're wanting to get a truck with a PACCAR, ask for oil analysis. That way you'll have a good idea what's going on inside. I need to do that myself. But if the PACCAR 680 gets 7.5 miles a gallon and the Cummins 680 gets 6.5, that's $2,100 every 30,000 miles, so you can pay for a little more service. That's a good point, Stu. Very good. You're using your brain. Yes. As far as the brand new PACCAR engine and the brand new Cummins engine side by side, I don't know what's more fuel efficient. My truck is a 2014, and it has better fuel mileage than the Cummins that was a 2009. So that's a big part of it too. Broke down last Monday, limped from St. Louis to Springfield, ended up being the one box. Yeah, I've heard bad things about those one boxes on those Freightliners. Did you have to pay for it, Travis? Or are you owner-op? I can't remember. Dealer prices all the time. That's like going to the Chevy dealer for oil change. Crazy. No, I just if you establish good with your price, and that's the other thing. You Schneider owner operators that are in here, go into a shop tell them that you're paying for it. That way, they're, you know, because a lot of these you're paying, they're, oh, good deal. See, that's the thing. I'm glad that was covered, Travis. It's showing bad connection, so I don't know. Usually whatever causes the one box to go out is covered under warranty. But yeah, those warranties are important on those Freightliners, because that's like $10,000 to $13,000 is the price of those one boxes. It's crazy. It's better now. Yeah, my let me check. Let's check my APU. I don't know if the HVAC broker did its thing or if it's just pulling up back. Cool. It's just turned off because it's hit the temp I've set it at. Yeah. So where are we at? We're at 31 minutes. 1.4 million miles on a Series 660, and I get 6.5 at 75. That's pretty good. You know, the way I look at fuel mileage is this. You know, you have to set up your truck right, or get a truck set up right. Usually 1300 or 12.500 RPMs is your most fuel efficient spot. Some trucks can go 70 at 1300 and some trucks go 60 at 1300. That's what's going to determine your fuel mileage, is a combination of speed and RPMs. So these 680s have a little green thing around between the 12 and the 14 mark. And if you keep your RPMs right, it's smack dab in the middle of that green, that's your sweet spot. And to me, that's about 63 miles an hour. There is a reason why these big fleets govern their trucks at 65, 64, 63, because that's the sweet spot. I don't think a truck needs to be governed to get fuel efficiency. I think it actually hurts it a little bit because you can't get a good running start for the hills. But I found that no matter what speed your truck is going, it's that 1300 RPMs that's the magic number. And so if your truck's doing 70 at 1300 RPMs, good on you. If it's doing 58, you probably don't have a very fuel efficient truck. That's what I have found. So that's where I set my cruise. I really don't go by speed as much as I go by the RPMs. There you go. James says 1150 is his best if light, 1220 if heavy. This truck runs best between 13 and 15. Turn the Wii boost on. Bandana, what's up? 12.5, I'm rolling 75 miles an hour. I'm in Arkansas, Steve. Springfield Freightliner is great. I'm glad you had a good experience with them, Travis. I know a gal that works in there. She's alright. Have you ever had any mechanical issues with your motor? I had leaky fuel injectors and a leaky fuel rail on my back car. And I got a 2017. So far so good. Jonathan Houston, knock on wood. I think my next oil change, I'm getting oil analysis to see what's going on. It doesn't drink any oil at all. As far as the injectors or whatever, I have run it out of fuel once, or close to it, where it had to be primed. That's really hard on the injectors, I know that. So, also get a Snorler trailer tail. No trailer tails. I've had 0 so far other than fan clutch. What's your mileage? My mileage is 477. Company I start out with, speed limited, because driver would run 105 if they did not. That's simple driver. Yeah, there's no reason. You know, I talked to a guy. He said he actually runs about 58 miles an hour, even though he's doesn't have a government truck, and he gets killer fuel mileage. Killer fuel mileage. And with fuel being your second biggest expense, or first, you know, other than the truck, it makes sense to kind of just chill. You know, you can buy all the air tabs and skirts and tails and all that crap you want, but if you're running 75 all the time, you're going to burn that fuel. If you're running heavy loads all the time, you're going to burn that fuel. And I laugh at guys that sit there and they've got all these air tabs on their truck and trailer, and they run 75 down the interstate and then idle the whole time that they're parked, and then bitch about how they're not making any money. You know, don't you think that one is related to the other? You know, I remember I was talking to an old school guy, like real old school, and he was like, I'm lucky to get 6. He goes, I'm getting 8 right now. And he's like, he's like, bull crap. He didn't believe me. And I'm like, well, you know, pick up a book, watch the internet. You'll find out the trucks are more efficient now. Schneider raised speed limiter and then started pulling back performance bonus because of MPG. Air tabs, yeah. If and when you get an oil analysis, could you share the results in a video? Yeah, I will, Ringo. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Schneider truck runs best, miles per gallon at 57. Driver doesn't treat OT like it's their own, throw them in the keys and give them another one that's broken. Yeah. Or first called rain tabs. I didn't know that. All I know is I think they look ugly. I think that I've seen some really nice trucks and trailers, custom, ruined by air tabs. I got them custom painted to match my truck. Cool. I don't care what if you got air tabs, more power to you. In my opinion, though, I don't think they really help that much. Maybe 1/10 of a tenth. You know. I'm just saying that if you have air tabs and you do all the other crap that burns fuel, you've kind of wasted your money. I have to get an APO on my truck. It has Freightliner Smart Park app, and it just doesn't work. It's all junk. Travis, next time you're in Springfield, what you do is you go to that Carrier dealer there, over there by Prime. They do good work, and Carrier is awesome. And they're actually cheaper than Thermo King. We gotta plug this phone in. It's gonna overheat too. Oh my god, it's my hand. I got one of these funky plugins. There you go. There you go. Now the phone just won't die unexpectedly. Well, it will if it overheats. Nice fingers. You hit it on board. For a fleet, you might see return, but for one truck, not likely. Yeah. What is a good price on a Carrier APU? Gary, I paid $98 for mine. I think Steve Berger paid about the same for his. And to me, it's worth it, especially with fuel being close to $4 a gallon in some places. James Best just had 10700 installed for him. So they average about 10,000, like Berger says. And your Thermo Kings run about 12. So they're actually cheaper than the Thermo Kings. Because if you don't have an inverter in your truck or a bunk heater, you don't need to get one for the Carrier. If you have none of that stuff and you buy a tri-pack, well then you have to add an inverter and a bunk heater, and that adds to the price. Yawning. But When I first started being a trucker, the first truck I had was one of Transland's first trucks with the APU. To the point that when I asked the shop how to use it, they didn't know. They just handed me the manual. Well, I know, you got one of the first trucks to have it. So I've never had a truck without an APU until the Peterbilt, and then that only worked half the time. So the last year I had that truck, it very rarely worked. So it was like not having an APU. Fuel efficiency is important, but a lot of people don't want to take the time to just run 58 miles an hour to do it. A little bike coach? Maybe, I don't know. The truck I have now says CPAP is the first time in 20 years I've ever had an APU. I've been spoiled too, man. That first truck, I had a killer inverter on that. I'd be sitting there microwaving my food, playing around on my laptop while watching TV, all at the same time, with the AC running. And it would freeze you out. I will say that the Thermo King, the AC is a little bit more powerful. However, they also have a lot more problems. So, after the last fix, my Thermo King is working good so far, knock on wood. So CPAP. Yeah, I remember your video you were playing, man. It was like someone had marbles in the casing there. It was making all kinds of noises. And I put a lot of hours on mine because number one, I'm sitting a lot, and number two, because I use it every night, whether I need it for temperature or not, for the CPAP machine. I could run the CPAP without the APU, but I'm afraid that if it takes the batteries down and the APU doesn't start up, it'll shut off the fridge and everything. So I don't want it to do that. So it's just easier. But this time of year, man, you got the air going all the time. It was a loose bracket. Yeah, man, I had an APU that was so loud that I was in Utah. Yes, I used to go out that far. And I was parked next to this dude, and he parked next to me, and it was just kind of sitting there, and then I started up the APU, and it just made all this noise, and he just kind of looked at me like, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna move, and he moved. But yeah, I was like, I was kind of like, I fully expected someone to like open the hatch up and shut it off, because on the Thermo Kings you can open up that little access panel and shut off the APU engine, and I'm surprised no one had done that with that truck, because it was loud. And then anytime I was parked on a hill, that belt would squeal until it was done. When it rains, the belt on this one will squeal a little bit, but for like a minute, but not much. I'm probably due for a new belt. This has got 3,000 hours on it. So that's why it's due for a service. Big road, little truck. What's up? Cha-ching. Finally got my new Cobra CB installed today. Within 30 minutes it paid off. Helped me know which lane to get to avoid the backup from the accident up ahead. Thank you very much for that comment, Big Rig Bill, because the CB is important, and the more people that use them, the better it would be. I can't stress that enough, to the point that I'm sick of talking about it. But I'm glad you got a CB, and I'm glad it's paying off, because it has helped me avoid so many accidents. It has helped me avoid so many different situations. It has got me out of a jam many, many times, including being lost. You know, recently I was in a spot in Arkansas where I had no cell signal. My GPS was obviously wrong. So I got on the CB, and a grain hauler told me exactly where I needed to go because he was local. He knew the area. You know, there was another time where it was obvious that I was lost because I heard, like, you know, driver, are you lost? I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right, you're looking for such and such? Yeah. Okay, well, take a left at the next light and take a right and you'll see it there. You know. Yeah, there was a lot of chatter in the old days. It was a way to kill time, you know. All these people are like, oh, I'm on Zello, but yet they don't turn their CBs on. Well, it's the same thing. You know, you just gotta, you actually have to converse with people around you. Oh my gosh. It's hard. You know, like, you know, perfect example. Today I was at the TA in Stratford, and this dude drove by and his side box was open. He was getting ready to lose all of his stuff, right? So I got on the CB, hey driver, your side box is open. No answer. He just like, and he went on the interstate. I'm like, okay, when half your tools are gone and your water's gone, you know, you'll figure it out. And it's always the people that need it the most that don't have the CB on. Waiting for your free president to come in the mail? What are you talking about? Got Galaxy DX949 up and going this week. Man, that's cool. I miss my CB, this Evo. I gotta get special mounts. Yeah, I know, Travis. I hear you. That special mount is like 30 bucks. 35, I think. You can buy them at most truck stops. But yeah, when I had my 387, I had the same style mirrors, but there was no bolts exposed. So you couldn't use that mount. I hated that. And I ended up drilling a hole in the mirror mount itself and putting it in there, but then it wasn't grounded properly, and I fried my Galaxy, or what was this, Connex. I had a Connex. I fried it because it wasn't grounded correctly.
Please drive to highlighted route.
I don't know why my GPS is still on. There we go. I just have to figure out the sweet spot for the squelch. What I do, turn all the knobs to the right, and then turn down the squelch to where the static stops. You're good to go. That's what I do. President is CB brand. Oh, okay. What is a good CB? Benjamin Duke, you can't go wrong with the Cobra 29. Now, Benjamin, I think you got a 680, so Cobra 29 is what you're going to want, because that casing that goes in the 680 is only good for the Cobra 29 in a similar size. Why the hell? Okay. Off. The problem is Garmin. And now, if you have a Freightliner with the roof is the CB antenna, I know that they don't do well with any CB. You gotta do a separate wire. I think the new Cascadias, they actually put the CB antennas in the back of the cab, so you can get, you know, and most stock antennas are okay. You know, anything you get past 40 watts or 50 watts, that's when you're kind of like, you need to have a really good setup. Most of the time, it's the antenna that's the issue, or the antenna wire. You know, just like an amp, you know, in your car, you know, you don't want to wire it, you know, with a weak wire. So, Cobra 29 is an excellent start you off radio, and I've got several of them. I've never had, you know, yeah. Big Rig said he bought his Cobra for 85 new. Yeah, they're inexpensive too. I run Wilson 5000 with Cobra 29, gets out good. Yeah, bandana, and that's the most important part, is your antenna. Now, the stock antennas on the Kenworth aren't bad. They're actually decent. But you wouldn't want to put a high-powered radio with them, because that's when you burn radios out. So if you get a high-powered, like 100-watt radio, and then turn around and put it through a stock antenna system, you're going to fry your radio. Usually a Cobra 29 peaked in tune is your best bet, because you're pushing about 20 to 30 watts. And that's all you need, especially in today's non-CB world. Harold and I, when we ran together last week, he's got a little bit hotter setup than I do, but we got out okay, Most time if I ran with a friend of mine that had a Cascadia, he was having issues because of that stupid roof antenna. So my last CB caught on fire. I unhooked it real fast and pitched out the window at Coke Indy. Never bought another one. That was about 5 years ago. Man. You're in a 97 FLD Classic Condo. Can't afford those new trucks. Okay, I got you mixed up with someone else. More likely in a 97, your wire is going to be fried, so you might have to get a new wire. That's not a problem. Just go to a good CB shop and they'll install everything. If I remember right, presidents are made by Uniden. Now, if I had a blank check, Uniden, and I saw these at GATS last year, Uniden has these CB radios that are also police scanners. I want one of them, but they're like $500. There's nothing in my truck that's worth $500 at all. Like nothing. And even the GPS, even the GoPro, even my laptop, but I would love to have one of those new Uniden with the police scanner. I've become one of those guys that likes watching live PD and listening to police scanners. I've become one of those guys, and I'm kind of afraid because I've become kind of this like wannabe get into guns and listening to police scanners and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of worried about myself. CPAP runs the CB through the CPAP machine, custom rig. Eating steak, stew, I'm jealous. Yeah, 29 is a good radio. I have a hookup for you, Steve, if you ever need a load out of Lebanon, Missouri, going to Oklahoma City. Okay, Travis. But yeah, so if anybody wants to buy me that Uniden with the police scanner, I'll do a video on it. He uses massive mics and echo. I miss my Connex that had the echo board. I think the thing with those real powerful radios, I think they're more annoying than anything else to everybody. So, like I said, a good Cobra 29, it's better than like the Radio Shack Special or the little tiny Cobra that you get at Walmart. It's better than those, but it's not like annoyingly hot like a Connex or Galaxy or Striker, And like I said, I'd love to have a General Lee, but it won't fit in my little, box setup that these 680s have. Oh, Roger beeps annoy the crap out of me. I despise Roger beeps. Oh man. If there's one thing that'll make me turn off a CB, it is a butthead with a Roger beep. Especially when they want to be annoying, they'll get on the mic and they'll just cue it up over and over and over, and it's a beep 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 beep. I just want to just punch them. Yukon. There you go. See how annoying that is, Yukon? I'll say something, say beep beep. Yeah, and I'll play around on the CB. I'll be like, hey, if you're an idiot, use a Roger beep. Or I'll like, hey, I like my Roger beep too, and then I'll actually say the word beep. I'm kind of a dork. Well, not kind of, I am, but it's kind of like Zello, you know. It's one of the more annoying things about Zello. Uniden Bear Tracker 885 hybrid CB radio digital police scanner with GPS, $349 at Walmart.com. Who's gonna buy it for me? The guy at GATS told me they're running about $500, so obviously the price came down. I'm gonna have to remember that. 885. My Raj Beep is always on because people hate it. I know, Yukon. I know. But you know what, Yukon? I am grateful that you use the CB radio. So I guess them's the breaks, right? But yeah, I'd like to have that Uniden 885. My dad used to run with the police scanner in his truck, and it saved him from a few backups as well, because that's where you find out that the interstate's closed, you know, because of an accident or something like that, long before, you know, the CB starts talking about it. You know, I wish I could be fancy like Ike Stevens, who, you know, I know in his Snyder truck, he had a shortwave radio too, or a ham radio set up. I don't just use it, I walk the dog with that bad boy. Walk the dog. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. We're almost to an hour. That's about my limit. I am no James Best, and it's time for me to just chillax and eat my dinner and yeah. You know, I've got a Cobra 29. I got that digital face. Oh, it's kind of okay. I like it all right. I got it. I had it. It was a backup radio when I had my Connex, and then my Connex died, so I ended up just getting this one peaked and tuned, and that's what I've had ever since. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Off subject, but is anybody else watching this outstanding duel between Nats and Braves? Nope, not me. How's your dinner is better than that frozen chicken pot pie I just ate. You know how long it's been since I've had chicken pot pie? No, I take that back. I've had the pilot version, which is not bad actually. Oh, Hope. Okay, hope your dinner is better than a frozen pot pie. It will be. What is peak and tune? That's when they max out the radio. I don't know. Yukon, maybe he can kind of give the technical term, but basically it's turning up the power of your radio and fine tuning it to where it's most efficient, maximizes. It'll make it work better than stock out of the box. So a lot of times you're only pushing 10 watts out of the box, but then once you peak and tune it, you're pushing about 30. And the more wattage, the more you get out there. So you're getting updates up the road a couple of miles ahead versus a half a mile ahead. Sun Chaser, give me 99 cents. I appreciate that, sir. That will be the last one I eat in years. It was pretty bad. The turn it up and improve the receive. Yep, there you go. They trim antennas to fine-tune power. Yeah, you can buy antennas that have like extensions on the tips, and you can, you know, or you can buy the ones that have the all metal tips. I've got a Wilson on this side. Now, someone told me the 680s, you've got, most trucks you have 2 CB antennas on each mirror, okay? One on each mirror. In the past, the right one on the passenger side is for your TV. Most of these trucks have like a coaxial that you can plug your TV in, and you get that's your antenna. And then this side is the CB. But someone said the 680s are actually split and they're both to the CB. Now, I've got different antenna here and a different antenna there, and it doesn't seem to affect things. It doesn't seem to have affected anything. That's better. However, I think I would maximize my signal if I got two matching CB antennas. And from what the CB shops have told me, the driver decides the CB, but the truck is the one that decides the antenna. I've got a whole collection of antennas on my side box. My best one I can't really put in this truck because it's too high. So anything it's like above 13.6 when I put it on. And so like you go through Memphis, I hit the bridges, you know, and that could damage your whole setup. I did that with the Peterbilt. I was constantly hitting bridges with my antenna and ended up breaking the mounts on the side of the Peterbilt. So it was then after then that I struggled to have a good CB in the Peterbilt. So you don't need much. Stock antenna, just get a Cobra 29, peak and tune it, you're good. Yeah, Rod, you're right. Usually 4 watts of stock is per FCC rules. And they vary coming out of the box. But technically you're not supposed to be above, was it 4? Is it 4 watts? I thought it was 5. Coax is a wink leak. Yeah. I have a Predator 30K CB antenna, it's good. Yeah, like I said, your truck decides the CB antenna. You know, depending on how it's mounted, how it's grounded. You know, if you've been slip seated or you bought a used truck, if that guy put a 100 watt radio in it and fried the coax, then you can put the best antenna on there and it's not going to do you any good. So if you got a brand new truck, then it just depends on how it's grounded. Like I said, I would not put a high-powered radio in those Cascadias where the roof is the CB antenna. You can swing as many watts as you want. Thank you, Sun Chaser. But yeah, 4 watt of stock dead key Yukon. I think if you got over 100 watts, that you have to have the license for that. I want something to stomp on people. Alright guys, we're at an hour. Thanks for watching. I've enjoyed this live chat. And no, I did not quit like trucking. I'm just doing a power only move. So if you watch my last video and you make all these assumptions, well, you know what they say about assumptions. And you know, be good, be safe. Check out this truck. That's pretty sharp. That's one of the new Freightliners. It's got the black painted black wheels. I think that looks kind of cool. Yukon runs a Galaxy 99 with a 2 watt dead key on top of a 500 watt linear. Yeah, it's definitely a green machine. It's a local truck too. Bowerman, I guess they're out of Searcy. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And you know, be good to each other, because you know what? Why not? So, see ya.